I found out that my coworker does something disgusting inside my office to punish me for being prude, and all my coworkers know it, so I got them all fired. I am a Moroccan living and working in the US. I work for a big corporation with worldwide locations. When I started working, there was a colleague of mine who always made jokes about being in love with me, etc. I knew these weren't just jokes but his way of telling me he was interested. I don't poop where I eat, so I just ignored it. He then started calling me his almond eye. I always corrected him and told him to call me by my name. I told him if he wouldn't stop I would call him banana nose. Listen, I don't know why I said that because his nose is normal, it's just something that came to my mind. He laughed it off but never called me that again. For 2 months we have had a new colleague, M36. I was working from home the first 2 days he started. When I met him he was very distant, acted as if he didn't like me. Don't get me wrong, I'm a very nice person, so for me this was weird, but I respected him and his space, so I didn't make an effort to see what was going on. Last week I discovered he made a huge mistake. I can't go into details about what because you would guess the corporation, but it was a big one. Even though he acted like a jerk to me, I didn't want him to get into trouble, so I stayed in the office with him until midnight to solve the issue. And I never reported it. But then, when I got up to leave, he asked me to wait because he wanted to talk to me. He asked me why I hated him so much. My flabber was gasted. I asked him what he meant because in my opinion, he was the ass. He started telling me that the first day he got here he was mentored by Banana Nose. And Banana Nose told him, watch out for her because she is Muslim and has told everyone over and over again that gay people should be banned. First, sir, I came from Morocco to work here. Who the hell am I to want to ban someone? Secondly, my religion teaches me to accept and respect everyone. The new guy went on to say that he had doubts after tonight because I could have fed him to the wolves but instead helped him out. But then came the worst part. The new guy told me that Banana Nose goes into my office when I work from home and this sits naked on my chair to punish me for being a prude. I asked the new guy to not tell anyone what he told me, and now I want to get a hidden camera and install it in my office. I want to first ask HR if it's not against office policy, but yeah, I want to catch his ass, literally. Would I be the asshole if I did that? Update: I had a talk with HR. I requested an urgent meeting. I didn't tell them everything because I knew what they would do. They would investigate and then come back with, it's just a rumor. Banana Nose is very loved and I don't want to put the new guy in a bad place. So I told them I was afraid someone might be sneaking into my office because all my stuff gets misplaced. Since I have a higher position at this company, they took it really seriously real fast. So my dear comfies, camera is in its place, and I will be working from home for the next couple of days. Update 2. Today was my first day working from home since the cameras were placed. After working for a few hours I got a call from HR to come to work. My heart was beating so fast and I literally can't remember how I got there. The nerves were eating at me. I got to the HR department, which is one floor above us, and I noticed everyone staring at me. The head of the department was sitting in a room with a couple of other people. They started talking. I couldn't listen. Things like, we as a company blah blah blah. I stopped them and said I couldn't bear listening to a TED talk and I wanted to know what was going on. Last night when I already went home and the camera was installed for maybe an hour, Banana Nose entered my office. HR asked me if I wanted to see the video or if I just wanted them to explain what happened, as if it's a nature documentary. I told them I definitely wanted to see the video. I will first start by saying what I saw. Objectively, Banana Nose entered my office and the door behind him was still open. He looked over his shoulder and it looked like he was talking to someone while taking his pants off. Then, it happened. He sat on my chair butt-ass naked. He took some candy from my desk and started dancing on my chair, rubbing his butt in my chair's DNA. I got sick to my stomach. He then took my pens one by one and licked them. It looked like he was still talking. There was no sound, so I wasn't sure. Then the worst thing happened. 2 years ago I lost my 7-year-old niece to cancer. On my desk is a picture of her and me the last time we got to hug. So you can clearly see it's not only a child but a sick one. This evil man rubbed his pee all over my picture frame and laughed so hard. He took out his phone, made a call and then left. I started crying like a baby. I feel violated. I feel used. I feel unsafe. HR guy was talking but I didn't hear anything. I saw myself in the reflection of the window and I stopped, wiped away my tears and asked what the next steps were. HR said Banana Nose was asked to come in later and they would fire him on the spot. It seemed to me like they thought that was enough for me. I told them firing him is step 1. I wanted to know who he was talking to and demanded to see the security tapes for the hallway. You can't see into my office on these tapes, but I know for a fact you can see who is standing in the hall. HR accepted my request and asked security for the tapes. It takes some time but they expect to get it sometime tomorrow. For now, I feel unsafe everywhere I go. When I got in my car all I could think about was, maybe he was in my car. Maybe he was in my home. I know that sounds crazy but, I feel crazy. Update 3. I have viewed the tapes, and what I saw was, I don't know. It was clear he was talking to someone. I, too, thought it could be the new guy, but it wasn't. A new guy was seen on tape at the beginning of the hall, turning his back and leaving. Banana Nose was giving a show in my office for 4 of my coworkers. 1 male, 2 female. 2 of them I trained. All 3 of them I helped when they made many mistakes. They stood by the door while he danced and filmed him. One of the females started to fist pump. It was disgusting. Before going to HR to view the tape, I did my research. I read in my contract that when there is a conflict of a serious nature that can't be solved, it needs to be taken to the board for review and judgment. I knew that if I asked for them all to be fired it wouldn't be a problem, because like I said, many mistakes, so I came up with a different idea. I asked for compensation from the firm and all parties involved of $1 million per person. I know, ridiculous. Ridiculous enough to get me in front of the board, to get them in front of the board, and I can't wait to show these tapes in front of 11 rich old men and 1 female who all have a lot of influence in our field of business. But most of all, I can't wait to look them in the eye and ask them why. I know their answer will not change anything, but it will give away who they truly are. Banana Nose hasn't been fired yet. When I got home after our meeting, the HR guy told me they wanted to wait until they had the full story, so nothing was unanswered. After today, I asked them not to fire him because the board meeting would be useless, and if he quits, he will lose all his benefits. So this way, he has little choice but to show up to the meeting, where I will do my dance. I don't know if I'll stay at this company even though I love to work here, because I can't believe that there is any way where it would be possible for a new guy to know this info and all my other colleagues not. The finale. An hour ago I got the news that everyone involved quit their job. They got their notice that they had to appear in front of the board and they didn't want that. By everyone involved I also mean one other person that was not on the tape but knew of it and was involved on different occasions. This was something that happened frequently. When they first had to come to HR and watch the tapes, they said it was just a joke that got out of hand. One of them even tried to say that I knew of it. They wanted to first keep their job and ask for a group session to work things out. But when HR said there would be a board meeting, they resigned the next day. As for me, I handed in my notice but this wasn't accepted. The company offered me a better paying job in a different location. They will help me with relocation and everything. I'm glad that I got this chance. Since I have a more senior position I need a well-rounded, trustworthy assistant. I asked for a new guy. They agreed with it and the new guy was very excited. Our relocation is closer to his boyfriend's house and I'm glad that I don't have to leave him behind in a toxic environment. I guess this is my final update. I decided not to sue. I don't ever want to think about what he did ever again, and I don't want to put my energy towards this kind of toxicity. And I know one thing for certain, you get what you give.